Hello and welcome to another Cerealboxd reviews. Today, we are talking about uh, blue is the warmest color, or I forgot the French title. I didn't write it down because I don't.
Chapters 1 and 2 or something.
Yeah, which I thought that was kind of interesting because I know it's based on a comic, but I don't. Uh, I was kind of I don't know. I never read the comic, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, is this does it imply that and when they made this movie that maybe they could have made more like another movie or whatever? I don't know.
They don't even know if there's.
I wonder if it was supposed to be like a before trilogy kind of thing. Like
I felt like maybe that was something they had in mind or whatever.
yeah, but it's been like 9 years, and the director has been Me Too'd, and
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna happen.
no.
But the movie, I don't know. So anybody out there that doesn't know what it is, I feel like a lot of people know what it is, especially if you clicked on this, you know what it is. But it's a movie. Hold on. I'm gonna pause this real quick. Sorry, I'm back. So it is directed by. I don't even want to read this guy's name because it's.
Yeah.
I'm Abel Latif. Okay, I'm not. And it stars Léa Seydoux and Adèle Exarchopoulos. It's a Greek name. Exarchopoulos. I can't. I can never pronounce her name. You know who it is. But yeah. Anyway, so it stars them, and this movie. I which award? What? Yeah, it was Cannes. It won like the movie, like the what do you call it, like best movie or whatever there, and it's the what's that? Sorry, you're breaking up.
Ah, shit.
Hold on, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
The Palme d'Or?
The Palme d'Or, yeah.
Yeah.
It won the Palme d'Or. It got critical praise uh, and so yeah, it got a lot of critical praise and stuff, and then it got screened over here and stuff, and I think it was. So I'm trying to remember. I do remember this like movie kind of coming out, but I didn't think much of it at the time. Like I was at the like age or period where I was like really into movies and stuff, but like this type of movie is like wouldn't be like a type of movie I would have like had interest in or whatever. Like I wasn't like I was kind of like above film bro stage, but at the same time like there's certain movies like I don't know, like if it looked like
Girl shit.
yeah, or like a drama that like a French drama where it just looked like people talking. That was it. I didn't really have interest in watching it or whatever. But anyways, it got released over here. I think I'm pretty sure like it. I don't think it was a box office hit, but I think it like did pretty well, like moderately for like foreign like import film. But and so yeah, and so it came out in 2013. I think like late 2013. And yeah, it what was I gonna say? It's had so it's both like a uh, it's kind of I guess a cult film. Not really. It actually doesn't fit because it kind of got hype and stuff when it came out. But I guess I will say it has a following, and at the same time, it's also a infamous movie. Um, I this movie even though has more critical praise, it has this movie has gotten the I think the Brown Bunny treatment, um, where
Yeah.
people focused on the the sex scenes. This one has a few, but focus. There's the one sex scene in this, and people focus on that and kind of ignore the rest of the movie, kind of like Brown and Bunny. And yeah, and it's like both movies. You kind of realize that there's a lot more to it than that, and you realize that most like that's like you know barely any of the runtime, and and they're both movies too that people have probably seen both these movies, but they've only seen that one scene. And they probably jerked off to it, and then they attempted to
Yeah.
watch the rest of the movie and thought it was like a really both movies were like really boring, like art films and stuff, and shut them off. so, um, yeah, but uh, so yeah, this movie's infamous. There was some controversies, and this movie to this day actually there's people that still debate about it. The whole is the sex scene or whatever, like, is it like still art, or is it
Yeah.
just
It's
straight
like
up porn? And um, so there's like a debate, it's like going on to even to this day. People debate about it. And so this movie, also, because I talked about like there's people that do really like it, and there's people that all they know is it for being infamous. And this movie is also like uh, very split down the middle with like the gay community.
Yeah.
This movie does have like a huge like gay following, for I mean for obvious reasons, but like I've read things like where like this movie is like popular, and it's not shocking, but it's very popular with like lesbians and stuff. And there's like an actual like gay like fan base and stuff. But then there's the other half that thinks it's just like like a disgusting movie, or like um really don't like it and don't think it's a good like representation of like lesbians or just gay people in general, I guess. But or even women also. But yeah, and so yeah, it's very split. The whole reception of this movie is pretty split down. I mean, it's critically acclaimed, but like when it comes to like real people and stuff, it's very mixed. And yeah, like even if you go on Letterbox, like every other review is like really good, or it's like the Brown Bunny too. Like it's really good, really bad, really good, really bad. It's kind of yeah, and most of the complaints for both movies has to do with the sex, pretty much. Uh, and so yeah, and this movie, so yeah, it's I didn't really say what it was about. Yeah, it's pretty much a lesbian love story. And it's pretty like standard. I mean it kind of you see the like the rise and fall of this relationship. And it's pretty like I think standard love story, but
Yeah.
it's very
Modern.
slice of life, I think.
Yeah.
You get, and this movie is 3 hours long, and I think you do get a sense. And I mean we'll get in that later, because I do think this movie is too long. And um but at the same time I kind of understood why it was that long, because the movie, like, it's a pretty, like, I don't say, it's kind of slice of life. And it like you do, I feel like I personally, I guess, get a sense of like almost like the entire relationship, or like the entire like a lot of the, it's very slice of life, like a lot of the scenes and stuff, like um a lot of, not even just the sex scenes, but the like the other scenes where there's doing like
Dinner
everyday
with
normal
family.
things.
And
It they go on for a long time, but like you do kind of get a weird, like, for me personally, get a sense of almost like real, not, I don't know if like real time is the right word, but like real world, like you do feel like, yeah, I don't know, me personally, you're kind of like there, like uh
I
experiencing
never
it.
like. an outsider during the scenes, even if I felt it was, and I with you maybe a little bit. I feel like some, not all, but some of the shit could have been like cut down or
Yeah,
just be cut
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But
And the movie is exactly 3 hours. It's like exactly 3 hours.
it's close, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it is. Like the runtime is 3 hours and 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Like it's like intentional, but
Okay.
yeah, and this also I said standard love story. This movie's not like I don't know if it's like necessarily completely original, but yeah, like it's in the same camp as like Call Me by Your Name or like
My
that
own,
movie. What's that?
well, My Own Private Idaho was different because it
Yeah,
wasn't a love story.
yeah, with like Call Me by Your Name or well, Brokeback Mountain or what's is it
What are some good ones?
Weekend? Is it Weekend? I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, the British. I think it's a British film. No, yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, Andrew Haig is British. He did it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that a few years ago. But yeah, so it's in the same camp. Um, so I guess okay. So I introduced it. So me before I give my opinion on it or thoughts or whatever, me watching I guess a handful of those movies. Um, and funny enough, because I mentioned the reception of this movie, like even like Call Me by Your Name and like Brokeback Mountain have like not necessarily controversies, but people like saying like, oh, this isn't like accurate or like these are.
Yeah.
I've heard about this too. This is another one. Well, you can kind of hear like Brokeback Mountain and Call Me by Your Name. I heard people say, well, not really Call Me by Your Name that much, but like Brokeback Mountain, people say it's a gay movie for straight people, and then this movie,
Yeah.
people say it's a gay, movie for straight guys or whatever, and
Okay.
um,
That's good. Yeah.
yeah, and but as someone who's seen a handful of these movies, uh, okay, how this one compares to the rest of the movies, so I think, uh, see, I think Call Me by Your Name is probably a better movie than this, but I do think, and this might be like, this is gonna be a hot take, but actually a lot of people would probably agree with me. I think this movie's way better, and actually I'm gonna get into it too. I think it's actually less offensive than Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah. And
Because
I have Brokeback Mountain, so I couldn't really say.
yeah, but because okay, before I get into my opinion on the movie, I'll explain why I said that. Is that I think um uh well, I actually kind of Blue Zone's color. I actually believe their relationship, and in Brokeback Mountain, I do not believe their relationship.
Yeah.
And also, Brokeback Mountain literally begins their love begins where Jake Gyllenhaal is pretty much like raping Heath Ledger in the tent, and yes, there you can look him on YouTube. I think the scene he like they're like in the tent. No, he goes in the tent. He does the whole "Can I sleep in here with you?" or he like makes a dumb excuse, and he's in there, and like Heath Ledger's like does it. He's like, okay, fine, whatever, and he starts like cuddling with him. Like Jake Gyllenhaal puts his arm around him, and then he starts like groping him or whatever, and then he's like Heath Ledger's like, what the fuck, and then like he like I think he like shoves him, and then like he gives him like a kiss, and then like he's like, no, what are you doing? But then Heath Ledger just like goes for it anyways, and he fucks Heath Ledger. no, Heath Ledger fucks Jake Gyllenhaal. Sorry, but yeah, it's very like
Yeah.
it's like and there's people that do talk about that scene as like like I'm not in the minority or whatever. There are a lot of people that do bring that up, and yeah, I've always like that never like sit well with me. Also, Brokeback Mountain. What I don't like about it is both characters are like genuinely like shitty, like because they cheat on their wives. There's a point where the Heath Ledger's wife finds out, and uh, he just doesn't give a shit, and well, he starts doing stuff. He's still with her, but he starts doing stuff to like spite her. Like, haha, I'm gonna go out and see him, bye, bitch, and like he doesn't say that, but he says shit like that. Like, it's very like I don't know, like they're not like good characters, and that's something. I mean, that doesn't like you don't have to have good characters to make a good movie or anything, but I just think that the movie is not a good representation of like actual like gay people, like gay romance or whatever. Like it's a very like negative like movie. I don't know.
Gay people, and they can be, you can make a movie about like asshole gays
Yeah,
or whatever. Like,
but
totally.
but it's portrayed as like you're supposed to like because it has a lot of like Hollywoody like
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
isn't this sad, but like I can't feel bad for them. They're just like shitty people.
The
That's
Hollywood
one thing
movie.
too. Like that Brokeback Mountain. Replace let's say replace Jake Gyllenhaal with a woman. What like if people watch that movie, people will be like, oh my god, this is horrible. Like you know,
Yeah.
it's like no difference. Like if or no, let's say Heath Ledger's the woman or what. I don't know. Either way, but like the rape scene. Imagine if that was or the tent scene. Imagine if that was a woman. Jake Gyllenhaal was doing that too. Like that, and the this imagine if the instead of the gay cheating or whatever, it was Heath Ledger cheating on with like a woman and like doing shit to like make his wife potentially mad because he's like seeing this chick and stuff. And so that's why I'm saying like if you just replace flip the genders like it's yeah and like it would have a total different reception and um yeah it's so I don't like Brokeback Mountain. I'm not ashamed of that or like embarrassed to say that. I know that
Nor
it's critically acclaimed, but a lot of people all do agree with me, and yeah. And so, anyways, I'm getting that out of the way. Um,
yeah, sure.
blue. Okay, blue is the worst color. So I first watched this like 3 years ago, I think. I this was one of the movies. So I was getting back into watching movies. There was a period where I was like watching like I mean I did watch movies, but I wasn't like going on my way to like discover anything. I was like in my late teens and stuff, and I was too busy like hanging out with people or like and I did listen to a lot of music and stuff. I was discovering a lot of music, but I wasn't like watching movies because either I didn't care, I was too busy doing other things, or whatever. And so in like 2019, I came back to watching movies, discovering movies and stuff, and uh, yeah, and so and so I was discovering all these bunch of these movies, and there's so many movies I've never saw, and um, like just interesting kind of movies, and so in that year it was crazy. I watched I think like 300 movies I'd never seen before or something, like something insane. Like I was watching like everybody that knew me like they're asking like what movie you watch because like they knew I was watching like 2 or 3 movies a day. Like it was actually insane like every day, and blue is the warmest. Also, the reason for that too is because I'm gonna be writing a movie, a book in the future. But uh, and so blue is the warmest color. It was one of those movies that year, and I watched it. I never saw it before, and I also used to at that time. I don't do this anymore. I used to actually blind buy movies, like blind buy movies that I thought I didn't know what my opinion was, but I was like, yeah, either way, like I would like to own this. Like, and a lot of times that was good, but a lot of times that was bad. That was a bad idea. I stopped doing that because it came more like bad than good or whatever. But so anyways, Blue River's Colors is one of the ones I blind bought, and I thought it was it actually took me by surprise. I was expecting because I heard people just talk about like the sex and stuff, um uh and in my head I actually thought at the time like, oh, it can't be like that explicit or anything. Like I saw the Brown Bunny by then, or like what's the other movie I watched?
Piano,
What's that?
the piano teacher.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like unsimulated sex films or whatever. Like, I've seen a few by then already, and so I was like, it can't be that bad. And I guess it isn't really that bad as those like Brown Bunny and stuff. But I was a bit surprised. I was like, okay, like this is pretty, this is more than I thought. But um, watching the movie, at the time I thought it was like a pretty good movie, but like a interesting movie because I'd never watched anything like that before. And so it was like one of the movies I watched when I was like getting back into movies, and yeah, I was like, wow, this is actually like I've never seen a movie like this before. And anyway, so fast forward years later, so this is I did watch this, I think, like a couple years ago or something. But I don't know if I like watched it in one day though. But anyway, so fast forward to now, I watched it in its entirety again, and I do think that this is I do think this is a good movie. It doesn't have the like the oh wow factor. Like I've never seen a movie like this before, kind of thing. It doesn't have that anymore for me.
Yeah.
But because I've seen stuff since then that kind of has this vibe or whatever. But and so, but yeah, I do think this is a good movie. I did want to recommend it because the it's always been a movie I kind of want to talk to with somebody about because it has such a mixed like reception. I just wanted to talk about it with somebody because like I wanted to hear like their thoughts because like I want to know if it was like exactly the same as me or like the complete opposite. And I also like this is a movie too I've always had like a weird push and pull with. Like I always thought to myself, do I actually think this is a good movie or am I just lying to myself? Or like is people that say it's actually just like a pornographic like boring movie or whatever, like right or whatever. Like it's always been kind of this weird like debate in my head. Like I don't know, like over like over time I couldn't tell if I actually liked the movie or not, or it was for a superficial thing. And so that's why I had to rewatch it. And I can confirm like that I do think this is a good movie. But I don't think this is like amazing or anything. But I do think it's a solid film. But yeah. So what did you think of this movie?
Well, as a preface, I should say, not to break the fourth wall too much or whatever, I fucked up, actually, and I didn't watch it until today.
Yeah.
We're recording, I don't know when this exactly will be uploaded, because upload's a little weird. But,
yeah.
I watched this just today. I was supposed to watch it sometime before, but we're recording a day later, and I watched this movie in big chunks, not unlike Love Exposure. And but it was all in the same day, so the rhythm of it wasn't too fucked up for me.
Yeah.
And looking back on it, one of the things I know is how my brain jumps from all sorts of different points, just like in my own life. Maybe if I'm like left alone to think and I happen to be thinking about past events, it's never like exactly chronological. This is a film shown in a very chronological.
I believe too it was filmed chronologically.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And
because I think they age. Like I feel like I noticed like they age kind of not much by much, but like.
Well, that's fucking dog over here. That can be, I think, is a lot with the acting. The chick who played Adele, who doesn't get talked about as much because I think at this point Leah is a bigger name, just in terms of like whatever stardom. But she did the whole like, you know, year to year to year thing of maturing very well. I felt from high schooler to or wannabe teacher or whatever. But the main standout is all sorts of different timelines or whatever, and sort of create a separate movie in my head, which I don't always get to see. I only really see it in like movies like this. Ambitious, not necessarily in terms of like how it looks, which I have my issues. I'm not crazy about that art in my art house, like handheld digital, and never any steady or whatever. It's always very handheld and sort of moving, which sometimes works for scenes, sometimes not so much. It looks nice, but really it's all gesture. And fortunately, the actors are very good.
Yeah.
That's where I love it.
It's funny because I am I'm kind of I'm like a Léa Seydoux fan. I think she's a good actress, but like I think she's like beautiful, and like I guess I kind of do now, but I had a crush on her for a few years or many years. But it's funny, like actually like rewatching this or like thinking about it, like I think that Adele, I actually think Carrie, I actually like her better in this movie. And also I mean it's really hard for me to fucking choose, but I still like Leah and stuff, but I sometimes, cause I follow Adele on Instagram, and so I think I might like her better than Leah. Yeah, and maybe have to do with I'm talking about like beauty. I think, I don't know, because Adele's a French Greek woman. I don't know, and so, but I don't know. I mean, they're both beautiful and stuff, but it's really hard for me to say which one's more beautiful. But they're both good actresses. But I think Leah's a good actress, but I think Adele is actually maybe, I don't know. I almost thought she like rewatching this. I thought like I don't know. I kind of liked her performance better than Leah's, I think. And a lot of people don't, when they talk about this movie, they usually talk about Leah, but I actually liked her. I think I might like Adele's performance better than Leah's, and I think Adele's performance is a bit. She's more of a low key character. Leah's more. She's obviously the dom. Like she's like, there's more. She is more to her. There's kind of like she's more like, I think, opinionated on things. There's more and Adele's more just like going with the flow. Like, oh yeah, that sounds good, kind of.
Oh, because of the mixed up worlds that felt.
Yeah.
Like she's opinionated in her realm, but I think that. I guess it's sort of a source of tension in the relationship, and part of what sort of makes it crash is now she has to adapt to this new world that she's not really a part of and doesn't have any real interest in, just because she loves Leah character.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Emma. It's funny because Leah has a different name, but Adele has the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and uh, yeah, and so um, yeah, I
Are
don't
you,
know. It was interesting because when I thought about this movie, every time I thought about Leah, but now that I've watched it, I think for some reason Adele almost sticks out to me a bit more.
yeah.
But yeah. So you said that you didn't, or
Yeah.
you thought you're not a fan of like the digital handheld shit, like.
Well, it's very pretty. I can't say it's like not technically like pleasing to the eye or whatever. And it's like I would never say this is like shot like dog shit or something. You know,
Yeah.
there are a couple shots that are like fairly well composed. I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking of the gallery of like the what is it like? I think it's like uh, Adele standing alone and someone walks off and Emma and her new girl is closer to the camera, sort of. Whatever. If you see it, you know which one I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about.
Yeah.
And the final shot's simple, but sweet. But yeah, I'm never a big fan of like movies shot entirely with handheld in general. Really, I just think it looks sort of
Yeah.
worse, a bit lazy maybe, and well, no, at best a bit lazy, and at worst just sort of garish,
Yeah.
uh, and seem just unfocused and with no real vision, to
Right.
use a. But I will say that I think it worked well during the dinner scenes. Interestingly, not during the sex scenes. I felt the sex
Hmm.
scenes. I
Okay.
had an issue with the sex scenes, but not because I felt that they were exploitive or whatever. Obviously, it's a bit hammed up, but I mean,
Yeah.
the movie, it's high emotion.
It's a
Really,
freaking pervy French film.
it's a pervy French film. Yeah, but my issue with that isn't that it's like that. It's that it's too nice looking. You know.
Okay. I uh I actually I'm in the agreement that I don't actually usually like digital handheld, but for some weird reason I actually think it works in this movie. I think uh I don't like I think it works for I think handheld I think the only time I think it's acceptable is like if you're kind of capturing like real world like a real world present in the
Sure.
moment kind of like sense, and I think this movie does do a good job with that. And yeah, the movie's pretty looking, but I um like what always stuck out to me with this movie is I never really heard a lot of people talk about it, but the movie like I know I've heard a few people. I think actually, funny enough, I think Chris Tuckman. I'm referencing Chris Tuckman. I think he said this when I watched this video. That you. I feel like I'm like weirdly like spying into these people's lives, and like I'm kind of getting like I feel like this like the scenes, let's say at like the schools or uh the the kitchen or at bar, even whatever. I get like a weird I get like that my like senses or like my imagined senses. I don't know, like when you're watching a movie you kind of start interpreting like I don't know, like kind of almost unintentionally, like maybe immersing yourself or like noticing certain details and different things. But I started like I a lot of the stuff I felt like I was there, like I could almost like feel like the tone of the room, or like how in like real life if I go to like a bar or something, like I get like
Yeah.
a feeling of the room, and like the movie I think captures like I think it might even be like the locations they picked too. They did a good job with. And it's weird because I'm American, I'm not French, but like the Adele's high school actually felt a lot like actually parts of it kind of looked like the high school I went to, and
Yeah.
even like the kids or like the how they look or like the I don't even know. I think too because I was like in in high school when this movie came out, and so but like what the kids were wearing or like the fact I don't know like the certain details I feel like it reminded me or like of high school, even like the how the kids standing around like I don't know like everything I just captured that like feeling like perfectly, and the
Yeah.
yeah just certain things like that, and um a thing I noticed which I think's like thematic, and I think that the reason for like the close-ups and things is like intentional is because like
Oh, so for
the kitchen scenes like the food there's so much food in this movie, and like
yeah.
always Adele like close-ups of her like shoving her face with food. She's always eating like random shit, and I can like smell the food, like I like get a sense of like the I don't know like how the food tastes like even without being there, like I don't know, it's kind of interesting, even like yeah I don't know like there's a lot of stuff like that, like I can like almost feel like the room or like I don't know like in the movie, um and so that's what it's kind of I like about it, that's kind of interesting, and I think the movie like that's why the reason for like the close-ups and like the so much food in it. I think a lot of it has to do with like sensory pleasures, and that's the whole point, like the sex
Yeah.
scenes and stuff.
Right.
It's very
Yeah.
like I feel like too. I think it's almost intentional. Like why I say like I can feel the room in the movie is because or smell the food is because it's like trying to like tap into this almost like primal kind of like I don't know if primal is the right word, but it's tapping into this instinct that everybody has, like that
Yeah.
it's trying to tap into this instinct where it's like I'm not there, but I can feel, I can like smell what the food smells like. I can like weirdly like I don't know, like maybe even like feel the set or like the sex scenes or whatever. I don't know, but like I can like or feel the tension between the characters or like I can there's certain things like
Sure.
that, which I think's interesting about the movie. But
My big issue, and I see what you mean, especially with like the food and like whatever.
yeah,
But the primal aspects of it were sort of muddied to me
mm,
because, like the sex and whatever else, it feels too like clean to me.
mm.
And like, uh, like you never see like moments of like more and
Oh,
to some
I like the. It seems like things are there's like even the actors or there's not like oh like there's a moment where like they're walking around the house, they have like messy hair, like everything's like clean and like
get a little
kind of
bit
like
like when he becomes a teacher or whatever,
perfect.
which was interesting. Hair is actually kind of talked about,
Yeah.
but it's do these two ever like fart in front of each other ever?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like
No, that is
when
something I've actually thought about. I did feel like that, especially the runtime. There should have been like yeah, like maybe a fart in there. Like there should have been like moments
or like
where you get
Emma says like no to having sex because she's on her period. It's like we don't see like
the
blood ever, or like
yeah
see like her retching or something.
yeah
And like just even in like the shower towards the end after the relationship, all the dissolved and shit, like she's still like washing herself in what to me read as only glamour, not quite glamorous, but too fake way or whatever. I mean, not just because like she's like a beautiful woman, and because like she spread her ass cheeks? You know what I mean? To let the
Yeah.
water in.
Yeah.
To actually her ass, or does she like sort of like massage her titties a little bit and then like step out and paint her nails or whatever?
Does Leah even have like armpit hair in this movie?
I don't think so.
She should have. I think for a character, would have matched her character.
Adele was shaved, and I feel like it would have been like contrasting.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you completely cut out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now I can hear you. It's funny, every time you apologize is when you get back to normal. Oh, wait, now you're completely broken up. Like, I just hear robot sound.
Can you hear me now?
Hold on, say something.
Pussy.
Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Cool. Not it. Okay, what did you stop hearing?
You were talking. I was talking about how like she should have had like armpit hair or like something.
Yeah. Like, if not aesthetically, or if not like character wise, at least like aesthetically, like fucking give her armpit hair or whatever, or like fucking some hair on her legs.
Yeah.
Or I guess whatever makes she does, but
yeah.
Fucking yeah, and I noticed that like Adele was all shaved up and shit, so like fucking has like some subtext.
Yeah, and because it's supposed to like take place over time, and you should get like it would have been interesting if like Adele gained some weight, got a little thicker or something like.
Thinking that like she was so fucking like thin and like even towards the end when she's just like a teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, like they're too like nice.
Yeah,
looking,
yeah.
Like a zit on her ass or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That a lot of that I actually never thought about before, but yeah, I do think that there should have been maybe a little like not necessarily imperfections, but like like a certain like sense of the characters like change physically or even if there was a straight up flaws, I would even like to see like straight up like flaws or something. And Utica I think got even more like immersed or like a better sense of the time and stuff. And I what was I gonna say? There's something I was gonna say about that.
It reminded me of Jumps in Time.
What?
Carnal Knowledge. Jack Nicholson thing.
Yeah.
The Jumps in Time, like I guess there were like positions or whatever in a Carnal Knowledge, but that's the thing I was saying earlier that I liked about it. That I think it blends a little bit actually. If that's not what you're saying, you're criticizing it for not having like a clear time, right?
No, I was just saying that I had nothing issue. I actually liked the time aspect. I said I was agreeing with you and saying that the characters should have like everything was too clean or like over time like the character should have like gained weight or something or like
fucking give Adele a bush or whatever.
Yeah.
More to me than like whatever her like sticking her Emma's like fingers in her mouth at dinner or whatever even.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah. I guess I'll get into my notes. I actually wrote a lot of notes for this one. I think talked about a lot of the stuff. So this is gonna be like out of order as usual because I don't really write coherently. I write like a schizo. I noticed that in this movie, and this is probably maybe goes with the things are too clean aspect is
Yeah.
there's like a lot of like not everybody because like actually the freaking you know what was good for the kind of like dirty aspect was the gay bars like
Yeah.
they seem like they got actually like there's no way like those are legit like people they found in gay bars like
Yeah.
legit and like none of those people were like totally clean or perfect like looking you know
Those those dykes at the
yeah
lesbian bar, yeah, they looked great with the hair and everything.
yeah
Yeah.
even
Subtle,
like
but
the guys like the
oh
weird
yeah.
piercings and like those were definitely like people they found in actual gay bars those are no way those are actors
One guy who was talking to Adele when Adele noticed him with like the tattoos and the
yeah
ball. Yeah, and he starts like dancing and shit. Yeah, I remember him very well.
yeah yeah and but anyways what I was saying is besides that like a lot of uh maybe the too clean aspect like there's a lot of like attractive people in this movie like
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
maybe it's because I don't know maybe because they're French but like yeah like at her school or whatever like a lot of the girls are like pretty really pretty looking
We're the kind of busted bitches that the other pretty girls like let hang around them to look better. You know what I mean?
yeah
They can't all be hot.
yeah
Yeah.
mm. um do, do, do. uh also what did you think of that like boyfriend character that was in it for like 30 minutes or whatever the first 30 minutes
The guy with the music, yeah, damn, I did. Fuck, he did drop out, and he was pretty good.
yeah he did a good job he
I
like he
saw.
looks like a lot of like dudes I've known even
He,
that were like musician types he just has that look and like personality and
yeah,
stuff
he
yeah
looks like the type of guy that like a girl would date like right before she became a lesbian. Not like because of him, but like he has some sort of quality to him in my mind.
yeah and yeah he looks like every dude I've known that like noodles around with their acoustic guitar in public or like the kids at my school that did that
Yes, noodles. He noodles. He's a noodler.
yeah yeah and but people always talk about there's the sex scene with him that nobody talks about where you actually see I don't know if it's like I'm assuming it's his dick like actual dick but you see his dick and it's the sex scene that nobody talks about because it's like the straight sex scene in the movie but it is actually explicit but yeah nobody talks about it it's like straight or whatever and not that long but yeah and I also wrote that Adele has bad taste in music and I think it actually works because like comparing to him or I mean you don't really get like that's the thing too you actually did like in the movie we should have like heard his music I felt like the music he made they like they we should have heard it and he but yeah he just says oh I like hard rock and stuff but like we don't really get a sense of what he actually likes but I do think it's interesting that I think what actually does work that Adele is like and that's why she dates Emma later Emma is like you know a fucking artiste like
The max, yeah.
yeah and Adele's just like you know like square like doesn't like
Yeah.
she has no like there's nothing like hip like she just kind of like watches or listens to whatever is like in front of her kind of
Yeah. He likes to whatever's at the club. She
yeah
fucks with. Yeah.
yeah so I think it does work that she has like lame taste in music or whatever I think it works
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah
I agree.
with their character yeah because I don't like in movies when they're like what's that 500 Days of Summer like you listen to the Smiths oh my god me too like
Gee.
Yeah, I do like it that, you know, it's more realistic. Like, you're not gonna freaking have the same taste as your partner or whatever. Uh,
yeah. Not all the same shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, also,
Expect
there's a shot.
this, but
What
yeah.
was that?
Sorry. What?
What were you gonna say?
Just saying, like, especially when it's like very like fast and like burns out pretty quick because
Well,
it's not about like actual interest so much. It is a very passionate love affair.
yeah,
And
and I do want
shit.
to actually I did write that down. I didn't want to talk about that because that's a huge aspect in the movie that which I think is interesting about this movie is that, and it's I think it's pretty realistic. Like, I don't see a lot of like romance movies tackle this. Is that, and especially for a gay, I only see like gay movies tackle this. Like, but yeah, like their relationship, they have like they like each other, but they have like nothing in common. And like Adele pretty much just like, I don't know if she necessarily lies, but like she's like when Emma asks her like, do you like, are you into art or whatever? She's like, yeah, I like art, I guess. Or like she kind of just
Yeah.
goes with it because she wants Emma. And then they realize they have actually nothing. There's nothing. They have nothing in common. And
Yeah.
that is how a lot of relationships do fall apart. Like and when Emma like talks about her art and stuff, Adele's like, you could like, she doesn't like give a shit. Like, she's just like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, just doesn't care or anything.
What do
And
you like her art?
yeah,
She like
I
a
forgot she poses nude for a photo.
yeah
But
yeah
whenever
dude.
Emma talks to like, or Emma talks to Adele about art or whatever, like
Right.
she's just, or like there's certain scenes where she like just says that she doesn't even know what she's talking about and stuff. Like,
Like I used to get her to be more of an art,
yeah,
particular way
yeah,
when she's not comfortable with that. That was a mistake.
yeah, and also the besides that, like it does show that this is a very common thing with like I don't know, like either like because like Adele's more, probably more like, like, well, she's like bi, and it's a common thing with like bi people looking at with like natural just gay, like straight up gay person, or even two bi people that hook up, is like a lot of times it falls apart because that's the only reason why they hooked up with the person. It had nothing, they don't, yeah, like Adele's like, ooh, it's like a woman I'm really attracted to, but that's the reason why she hooked up with her. Like, she thought she was attractive, but that's why she was intrigued by her, because it was like an attractive woman. And how she liked the idea of hooking up with a woman. That's what excited her and stuff. But she actually didn't like really care for the woman herself, kind of thing, and vice versa. Like, Emma's like, ooh, this is a girl that doesn't have experience with another woman. Like, ooh, she's turning to the gay side, and she kind of, lures her in and stuff. And but that's a common, like, that's a very common like gay relationship. That's how a lot of those relationships start and stuff. And yeah, I think that's what's interesting about the movie. I don't see very many gay movies that tackle that. And I've known like gay people, and so they've told me things like stories and like very similar stuff that's like happened to them, like that they've had similar relationships like this movie, like that's like how a lot of them start and stuff. And yeah, like a lot of people, like bi people that hook up or the same sex, they find out like, oh, I didn't actually like the person, I just like the idea of hooking up with the same sex, and they were an attractive person. But yeah, like but yeah, I think that's what's really interesting about the movie. So there's a scene where she's eating Adele's eating a gyro.
Oh, I thought that was going somewhere
Um, uh, and she, of course, because she's Greek, which is funny. But I don't know if you noticed, but I don't know if you remember, but I used that her stuffing the gyro in her mouth as like a Instagram profile pic once. Yeah, I remember I was watching. That was the last time I think I watched the movie, which is actually last year, I guess. And I just like paused it. She had kind of a funny face, or I don't know. I paused it and I just took
And
the
that's
picture.
me, or I'll fucking have to look it up. But yeah, that's.
I don't know if you can find it, but yeah, if you watch it was like the beginning. She's eating with her boyfriend or whatever. They're at some like restaurant outside, and she's like stuffing the gyro in her face.
Yeah, she's specifically part of Gyro.
Yeah.
Gyro? Fuck it. Who cares?
What's that?
But yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Also, what was I gonna say? They're also you know the scene they're in the movie theater. It's
yes.
like for probably like 20 seconds or whatever, but you know what movie they're watching in the theater?
No. What?
Enter the Void.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool, honestly. I wonder if they were like homies or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not surprising though, but
supporting voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was it. It's actually this movie. I think they're both Wild Bunch films too.
Really?
Yeah, Wild Bunch is like pretty much puts out all the French like art house films and stuff. Like the last like 20 years, I've noticed. But yeah. Also, a scene I do really like because it's actually pretty realistic. Is so there's that scene where it's kind of when it's the first scene that's Adele and Emma it's after they actually officially meet at the bar. They go to the park or whatever, and or I don't know if it's the first. Yeah, it is the first time they go there, I think. But
it's after the Notebook scene when she gets like gay bashed by her pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a scene where it's in the park, and when they get up, or whatever, and they're like about to leave, there's like there's a moment of which actually they kind of used in the poster, kind of. Well, not really. I don't know if it's actually. I feel like it's just like taken for the poster, but it's supposed to be the scene. There's a tension, and it's like almost like a long, like awkward tension, and but what I liked about it, and Emma just ends up kissing her on the cheek, but what I like about it was like it was actually like pretty like realistic, like a lot of times there is like when you first like date somebody or like kiss somebody, or like a lot of times there is like a weird awkward in the moment. It's weird, you're not really thinking about it, but there's like you do give each like that kind of like they gave each other like this like gaze, no pun intended, but they gave each other a gaze, and
yes.
and like I don't know, like it was kind of like, I don't know if awkward is the right word, but yeah, like I thought that was interesting, and what makes the movie work too is like what made that scene work, because there's no music or anything,
right.
And so yeah, you feel like you're just actually there watching this, or like you are one of them, and so yeah, like in like a freaking Hollywood movie, they would like have music build up or whatever, and this doesn't. You just hear like the noises in the park, like you would hear in a park, like regularly, and you're just seeing the.
They captured. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Because I felt like they gave each other permission to be awkward, and that's the sort of thing early on, like some sort of like romantic relationship that isn't captured often, like more Hollywood, more to use the term bourgeois, styles of filmmaking. It's skipped over a little bit, or isn't the audience isn't supposed to really feel that. But I really enjoyed, and I really enjoyed that scene because that's sort of the thing that sucked me in a little bit.
Yeah,
it really got me in there,
Yeah, and because I did read a thing that because they filmed this, I think like for like a period of 2 years or something. I'm trying to remember. And there's like I think there's something crazy like 10 hours of footage or something. Like this movie easily could have been like a Love Exposure type movie, but they cut it down. It was actually kind of a similar thing. They cut it down, and Leah actually said that, I don't know about Adele, but Leah actually said that she actually like pretty much got like attached, like almost emotionally attached, like to Adele, like like she actually like liked her and stuff, and like and but the movie, like a certain scene, I don't know, I feel like you can kind of tell even that scene, like they seem like they're genuinely like having like tension, like they're actually like feeling it, like the way they're looking at each other and stuff, like it actually seems like they're actually like like actually can like feel either like love or tension for each other and stuff. Yeah.
Or later on.
Yeah. But and I did read that like the director, he did that stuff on purpose and stuff. Like he that's why it was filmed a long time, because he wanted like the characters to actually feel like they've known each other for a while, and actually like that's why it was filmed in such a long period, and that's why there's so much footage, because they wanted to actually, and a lot of it, I think a lot of the dialogue was like improvised too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so you want to be as like real world or whatever as possible, but have we? So I guess we kind of talked about the sex scenes.
Yeah, well, our criticisms of it. Anyways.
Yeah.
I think it was sort of the weaker part of the movie.
Yeah.
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 But they needed to part of it.
I think the could have been cut down.
I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, they should have been redone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a matter of like length or whatever, like dwelling. Like, like I remember just the post-orgasm, like just like lying there tired part, like more vivid than like whatever else, with them just like sort of wrapped around each other. And like, I don't know, like I remember the bit where they're in bed together naked, not a great focus. And it's like when Emma was talking about her like trying out writing or whatever.
Yeah.
And but the conversation goes to like her art shit or whatever, and her being worried about fucking, I don't know, whatever the fuck she's worried about. And then Adele says something like it'll pass or whatever, don't worry about it. And then Emma goes like, yeah, knock on wood. And then she like smacks Adele's ass a couple of times. Like, I remember that very well. And it's like, and it's like,
I remember the strap-on scene.
I don't at all.
Okay, it's for like, oh god, probably like 15 seconds or something. I don't remember. It's pretty short, but it's actually funny. I actually like that the transition. It's I think it's the one, I could be wrong. It's like when I think there's the two sex scenes, like the one where it shows Emma like or Adele at Emma's house, and then there of course Emma or vice versa, and which I did think it was funny, like how Adele's mom just assumed Emma was straight.
Yeah.
It's just funny, but there's like sex scenes and like both after both of those, and it's like a hard like cut, and the one with the strap on, I don't remember which one it was. It's like a hard cut, and like I don't know, I thought I like started laughing. I do think it was like intentional, like it was supposed to catch you like off guard. Like you're just watching this like, oh, family dinner scene, all of a sudden hard cut the strap on, fucking, and um yeah, but I what I do like about how like yeah, how like they're doing all this shit like at their parents' house. I don't know, and they're kind of keeping it a secret, like the aspect, because it is like realistic and uh yeah, but um uh yeah, that's why I remember the strap on. That's why I remember the strap on scene, just like the hard like cut, the transition.
I didn't the strap on in that. Maybe I was like looking away. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, there was one, but I think
I'm
it
not.
was Emma using it on Adele.
What was that?
It was like Emma using it on Adele.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I should have like explained that. I think it was pretty obvious. But yeah. Uh. Oh, what do you think about like that the Adele's friend that she kisses, like makes out with briefly, and then gets mad at Adele later and like makes fun of her because she sees, because you know, of like her hanging out with like Emma, like why are you hanging out with this dyke or whatever, and like then all the kids like start like making fun of her, and so what did you think of all that?
I don't remember if she makes out with. Dog, come here. I don't remember the chick she makes out with.
Yeah, they make out briefly. That's like Adele's first like lesbian experiencing.
She was quiet during the whole like gay bashing scene or whatever.
Yeah.
It was saying to like make it in bed together one time.
Yeah.
I just remember that. I remember feeling sad for her, or whatever. But I remember her being like, or whatever the fuck, or what did she say? Is her pussy blue too?
Yeah.
My pussy or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that. Like, go eat her blue pussy or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, I thought that scene where her friend was like making out with her briefly was like weird, and then how she got. I know there's a lot of insecurity and stuff, but like that's what was showing. But like, I don't know, like I like how she all of a sudden she started acting hostile towards her. But I guess the scene shows that like high school kids are fucking dipshits and like douchebags for no reason a lot of times, and your friends will turn on you. Your high school friends will turn on you eventually. That's what it shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did I write? I can't even read my handwriting. Uh, da, da, I talked about a lot of this already. I'm trying to find this shit. Do you think the movie? Cause we did talk about the runtime, but I feel like the movie started getting like. I started like kind of checking out of it like an hour and a half, 2 hours in. That's like the moment. That's like the moment I was just like, okay, this might be overstaying its welcome. Did you get that?
Yeah. Like first and a half. But I did. Yeah, but it wasn't like at any particular point. It was more like, okay, I'm not vibing with this as much right now, and I would be, and I would, like, so on or whatever. It was a matter of like runtime so much. I think it should have just been a better movie. I think they should have just redone some stuff. You know?
Yeah. I do think the first half is probably more interesting, but what did you have any thoughts or opinions on the I forgot the singer's name. It's like the most famous scene in, well, besides the sex scene, it's the most famous scene in the movie for some reason. The scene where Adele's dancing to "I Follow You" or whatever. Any thoughts? Any opinion? I don't really have an opinion on it, but it's like the most famous scene in the movie.
I liked the use of like shitty pop music.
Yeah. I like that scene. The only thing I liked about the scene, it takes me back because that was like kind of a popular like indie pop song, and I was listening to a lot of indie music that came out then, and it just reminded me of that period.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the most famous scene in the movie because if you look up that song, there's the clip for it that they used to kind of advertise the movie, and it has like, I think it has like a freaking like 100 million views or something like that. Like, it has a lot of views, and a lot of people have seen that video but have no context, like, or care what the movie is. Yeah. I did kind of get. What did you think about the whole plot turn? Like what did you like? What did you think of when Adele like cheated on Emma and like the whole like fight scene, the meltdown scene, and stuff like that?
I felt like it could have been like cheating shit could have been a little better done.
Yeah.
And the payoff was pretty worthwhile, but
I actually think the meltdown scene is actually one of the best acted moments. I think Adele's actually really good in that scene. Her little that kind
because the like nodding shit, like she does blubber all the time in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I guess later on, like
she's like a mouth breather too.
She sounds perfect. I wish her eyes would have been a little like redder or whatever.
Yeah.
Throughout the film. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the best shot in this movie, or I actually think it might be, it's a very short like scene, but I actually think it might be like I don't know, it might be my favorite moment in the movie for some reason. I think it's because how it's framed and everything is the shot when this is like way after they broke up and she's working at the school. I think it's right after the school gets out and she's at the beach. She goes in the water or whatever, and then there's like kind of like silence and stuff. I actually think that's I that might be my favorite moment in the movie.
I'm ashamed to say, but I was kind of moving around the room the rest of the time.
Okay.
So I wasn't entirely able to absorb it, but I caught it. Like you shot some kind of like in the water. Is that it?
Yeah.
Sorry. I remember it being eye-catching.
Yeah.
There, but I'm sad to say that got lost in
I thought the restaurant scene was pretty good, but I did think it was funny. Like it is very like emotional and dramatic, and like I just because even when I first time watched this movie, I was just like, they're just like, I wonder what people in the restaurant think. And they do show a shot of like the people looking like, what the fuck is going on? Because they start like passionately kissing and being hysterical.
Fucking finger fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at the finger sucking bit, I would have like been keep it into what was going on at the table, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit.
Now I don't have like an issue with the ending of this movie, but I was actually underwhelmed by the ending of the movie.
I felt I felt that it worked fine for what it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want like some big explosion necessarily for this the ending of particular or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm all I don't know. I pretty much talked about everything I wrote down.
Yeah, it's interesting to talk about.
So, anything else to talk about with it? Any concluding thoughts? Anything?
Fucking. Just that if you want to have like sex in your movie, you know, maybe don't be so like simple with it. I mean,
yeah.
Have a zit, you know, have a pube get in somebody's mouth, have something, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you want to illustrate love, you know, somebody's pube being in your mouth is like a good way to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 I think that it's I think it's a good movie. I don't think it's amazing or anything, but I think it's good. It's a solid movie. We talked about like our critiques and stuff, but overall, I think it's a good movie. Yeah, that's all. That's like all I have to say about it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Really beautiful acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, also, I mean, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but now you need to recommend a movie. Finally.
You admit it's
Yeah.
a while.
I know. I think it's screwed up because we did something where I said no, we should do this. Like I don't remember what it was. We changed our routine or whatever, and like to talk about something else. And then eventually, we like didn't do this series for a while. And then I brought it back with like I don't remember which movie. And so, what's that?
That was like a side note on a regular episode.
Yeah. And so, and then we've been doing the other pod for a while, and so, yeah, I kind of want to. That's why I've been wanting to bring this back because I'm burnt out on doing the other pod, and so I want more like shorter or like more low key, kind of just like talking about a movie kind of pods for a while now. But yeah, you need to recommend a movie. You can recommend one right now, or you can like think about it, or.
I'm sort of torn with like 2, maybe 3 things, so I want to sit on it for a while.
Okay.
Whatever it is, I think it'll lead to interesting convo, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up. So yeah, that was Blue's Warmest Color. Thanks for listening. Any last words? Anything?
What do vegetarians and lesbians have in common? They both prefer meat substitutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
We had a fairly like intelligent conversation without too much joking around for this, and I wanted to ruin that.
Yeah, I actually thought I was actually kind of worried. You know what I was worried about was I thought because I thought this movie. I almost thought in my head it was like we should like invite like a lesbian here or something like because I thought we were gonna come off like straight guys or like
Right,
are too
yeah.
focused on how beautiful they
Like,
are or whatever. But we actually
yeah.
like you know we did actually have like a mature conversation about it.
We had points.
Yeah.
I was sure we were both just gonna be making hella fucking just dyke jokes all the time.
Yeah, or that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, thanks for listening and goodbye.